Okay, somebody's got a sense of humor, you know. And the word humor, the Greek term, comes from the Greek term humor, which means to flow. And today we'd get a lot of stress out of our lives if it would just flow a little bit. When's the last time you went out and bought a good humor book? You know, and you shared that? If you haven't done it, there's a lot of great humor. You go on the internet and then ask, you know, type in into Google, farm humor. And I'll guarantee you, in 3-4 minutes, you're going to have tears rolling out of your eyes, some of the stories. But that you know, kicks in the endorphins and a lot of other stuff and makes a lot of joy coming. I tell people, here, I'm going to test you out. Take a look at this. There's a cannon. There's some empty boots in front of the cannon. I opaqued out the comments underneath. Anybody want to take a crack at this? What should that say underneath there? Huh? Whoops. I think he said hire, not fire. You know, I never liked those human service people. You know, I have a friend, a young man who's a salesman for chemicals, Mid-Central Chemical, and he sends these cartoons out without the captions. He sends them out to his clients and then throws in a 5-gallon bucket of chemicals, whoever comes up with the best one. I did talk to Boeing Military Aircraft, and they did it, and it was so successful, it changed their attitudes, it changed their performance and tenure and everything else, and it went so well. They did this on a bi-weekly basis that at the end of 1 year, they brought in the editor of the Kansas City Star, and they picked the best humorist in their organization, and they gave him a 1-week paid vacation for 4 people because of the power of humor. If you want to deal with stress, learn how to laugh a little bit more. Here's another one. Can you come up with that one? Has it stopped spinning yet? You know? Make sure you take 5 pounds off for the towel, honey. Huh? I was doing a thing for Alpo Food one time, and there was a group, I shouldn't really say this, but I will say it. There was a group of women, and they were just laughing. And I would ask them what they wrote down, and they didn't want to tell me. And finally, they told me. They'd written down underneath there, such a little car for such a big garage. Okay, I'm sorry. I was doing a humor workshop out in Denver, Colorado one time with a bunch of nurses, and they were cardiac intensive care and oncology, and they were under a lot of stress. And before they could go to break, they had to write down for this one here. And everybody was pointing to this little nurse. She must have been about 65 years old. And she wouldn't volunteer. It's the only time I've ever looked at anybody's notes when they went out for coffee. And I wrote, if you knew this person, she would bring more sunshine into your life than you can imagine. Because underneath there, she wrote these words. Edith, you absolutely have to do something about your dandruff. Talk about a human vision, okay? All right.